All right,
All right.
meeting is recording now.
Yes.
We're about to start. We do not have quorum, so we will not be voting on anything unless somebody else shows up. But if we can go around and introduce ourselves, because Beth is on video.
I bet glad you're with us.
But okay, now we have that quorum. Quorum. Hey, Dottie. Sorry, with much congestion. I've heard. Yeah, sure.
Okay, Maud Bouchard Trost with, resident for 11 years, over, at Glendale and Elm. And, been on the board now for like a year and a half, I think, maybe close to 2 years.
I'm Deanna Seeley. I'm the vice chair. I've been a resident for 40 years. With a short time elsewhere. And I have been on this commission for this about a year.
I'm Christina. I'm taking notes today.
What do you do for the city?
I work for the prosecutor.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, now that I'm done wrestling with the raincoat. I'm Dottie Inglis. I'm retired from Webster University and I've lived in Webster since 1998.
I'm Taylor Brill. I moved to Webster in July.
Yeah,
and this is my first meeting.
Great to get involved so quickly.
Yes, yeah, and I'm also right over on Elm and Glendale.
Oh, you're,
Ben,
your neighbors.
Oh,
We're on the same street.
I'm on Colburn, right one behind the rec center.
Oh, okay,
All
I know
right.
exactly where you are.
Dan,
Beth?
Hi, I'm Beth Curley. I grew up in Webster and took a hiatus to Chicago for a while and then came back with when I had my kids. And I live in Tuxedo Park and I've been on the commission several years. I don't even know how many now, but time flies. I don't know, like 5-something years or yeah. Anyway, nice to see you all.
And I am Brett Ellis. I'm usually put together a little better, but I've been up since 3 because of the flooding area of our city on the north side. So I'm usually shaving, but I'm sitting over here because I might smell like sweat a little bit. But I'm now the city liaison for the Arts Commission. And so as fire chief, I've been here almost 3 years. And I do love the arts, from music to museums to such. So when Dr. Peebles mentioned this to me, so yeah, it's a great fit. I love the arts, and our city clearly has some beautiful, many beautiful aspects about it. And family loves music as well, so we're just kind of an artsy family. But nice to meet you, and thanks for having me. I guess you're kind of stuck with me, but but first time here with everybody, so I look forward to getting to know you a little better.
we don't have a visitor today, which is unusual, so no visitor comments. I haven't seen minutes. Have we? We have minutes to look at.
Oh, from last month's minutes.
Let me double check and see if Eric
Eric.
said those in the.
Haven't seen anything. The only thing I saw is introduced Brett.
Yeah,
Right.
I can try to find the previous minutes
Or we can just wait till.
or come back to it
Next month.
next time. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just make a note that they do approve the October minutes in December's meeting.
Any new business items to discuss? Actually, I want to bring up one, I think that I saw emails going back and forth on about the banners. That apparently, Michael Silverman
Silverman.
has offered to purchase the banners for the city. And I don't know where that goes. I saw you sent an email to Eric, and I don't know if that went to you. Or where that is going, if it can be done, or what the situation is.
I think it's my understanding, talking with Eric, that this group would discuss the intentionality of it, your ideas, and then make a recommendation, and then take that to city manager to review.
So you'd be able to forward the email?
to us or.
Did you not see it? Was it not?
No, we haven't received any information about it
Copy on it, you know why, because it,
because you're vice chair.
no, I think it was because of Dave Buck.
Oh,
So
okay.
it went to Dave Buck.
Or if you can open up the email and just let us know about it. Or is it okay if we discuss it next time, which may not be December, it may be January?
I mean, if he's willing to do it, now again, I don't know where that goes, but what my initial thought was, it's, first of all, incredibly generous. But he was willing to do that. Wouldn't it be nice if we opened up, you know, if he didn't have a design in mind, opened it up to submissions from different people, maybe did a contest, and people submit ideas.
The quick background is the city has banners that say City of the Arts.
Yeah.
And serve a brand and their time is over.
2013.
They need to be updated, replaced. We went through a for-profit entity that wasn't able to make the sale to businesses. The businesses would buy into the banners and be able to put their logo on. And that was not a successful sales effort to the businesses in Webster. And
Nicely
so,
put. Nicely put.
yeah, and now we have another opportunity, but if we can get more information, I don't know.
Yeah, let me see.
And if you don't have it, we should just share it and talk about it next time.
See if I can find it.
That's what I. Did you sleep at all last night? That was all night.
Yeah, pretty much.
We were stopping at the base in the 2:30.
Yep.
Don't stop the best. It was a huge email, went to all kinds of people. But you're right, basically, people were talking about Webster Grove City of the Arts as a slogan. And something came through from Michael Silverman saying, excuse me. I agree we should adopt it officially, but I'm content with the slogan being used mostly by the arts community. I would also like to offer to purchase new banners for the city. If someone would let me know how I can do this, let me know. And then there's an email from Laura Arnold saying, "Hi, Michael, I'll make sure our staff hears about your very generous offer for banners. We will definitely be in touch. I'm not the Arts Commission liaison any longer, so I'll have to get to speed with the status of our previous plan for banner replacement. Thank you for always being so supportive of Webster Groves," and that's the last I have.
Awesome. Could we get more information about that or have them come in and tell us what he
Yeah.
wants to?
That I don't know if that comes from the city inviting him in or talking to him about that or what. Apparently you weren't.
Yeah, so I think I need to get some background. I think Eric's still accessible, so I'll reach out to him to get some of that information.
Just to, for those of you who don't know, this might be helpful. So probably some of you know this, so forgive me, but Michael Silverman has been very generous in doing the piano concerts at the Masonic Temple. He paid for all of that. For several years, we partnered with him on that just to kind of help staff those concerts. They were, I think, in August every year, and I think there were 3 of them that he basically bankrolled and hired all the musicians and did the staging. And then he did the park at Glen Park as well, that playground and the kind of band area that sometimes there's concerts there. So he's been very active in supporting the arts in various ways, and that's his background. So I know that he has come in and spoken with the commission before. The mayor may, you know, she's probably interacted with him several times on the parks and everything. So she may have a direct line, you know, to communicate with him about what his offer actually is. Just to give you that background.
So Brett, if we put it on for next time, can you find out from the city where,
I'll get with Dr. Peoples and Eric.
so we can put that on the agenda for next time? Any other new business?
Yeah, you did ask me to talk to folks about putting their in like opera rep and the concert, well, College of Fine Arts at Webster on the calendar of the city. And everybody has a really positive reaction, and now the who's going to do that is stuck in bureaucratic channels at the university. Part of it's because of the new president. Everybody's in flux, you know, about what is and isn't happening. But there's a general positive, so I'll just keep nibbling at it until it happens. That's okay. Background, we thought it'd be nice if, since we say we're City of the Arts, if the arts organizations actually put their calendars into the events calendar for the city so that it's a presence.
So much to do here. Well,
Yeah,
people in
exactly.
the know, so
Yeah, it's
you
like,
can be as busy with that stuff or as lax as you want.
I think the question is who is going to actually push the button on the website to.
And there's a
Load up.
contact on the site
Yeah.
that lists kind of who's the manager of the calendar. I just can't
Exactly.
remember the name.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to touch base with that person.
Oh, yeah.
I've submitted events there before for the Theater Guild.
Hmm.
And so I know that that process is a little bit.
Yeah. Like so many processes.
Yeah.
Any other new business? Old business, planning input for the Jerry Hall Sculpture Garden naming, dedication and ceremony. Do we know when the Parks Department is?
It was my understanding that there would be a date that would be set. Discussed and set. That. For that event. Have you already set a date for that?
We have not,
No.
and.
What I recall. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say Pam was going to talk to Jerry about what she might like in terms of signage. So we were hoping that we can have signage.
I saw an email though that had a sign. I guess kind of like with a price attached to it. Is that what you're referencing? For
No,
the
Pam was
sculpture
going to
garden?
talk to Jerry to see if she had any preferences. What she might like to see. Do you recall what mine?
We did talk about
Who's
that.
Pam? I'm sorry.
Pam?
Or Jan?
No. I know this is terrible. I said the wrong name.
Judith. Is it Judith that was
Judy,
gonna talk?
Judy,
Or-
yeah, sorry about that.
Judy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's, okay. So, yeah, so I don't know if you want me to shoot her an email. Like I'll start an email and ask her if,
You had a chance to talk to Jerry.
yeah, so what I recall that we discussed from last time was that we need to find out dates and times that work for her, since it's a naming for former mayor. And then we also wanted to do signage, but we wanted to have, we didn't just want to do the standard Webster Groves Park signage but then we may have to go through a bit of an RFP process, not a big RFP process, but just get some comments or here, we want to, that's why we want to hear from the mayor, and then we need to decide if we would go to a specific artist for qualifications or proposals. So, we do need to hear an update from Jan, or from Jan, I'm
Judy.
sorry.
No, I know, I was.
Judy.
Jan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to update some Judy.
To see if she had that conversation.
Which means we're probably looking at dates in the spring.
Yes.
Or
So that's the email.
Yeah, at the earliest.
Email chain I was on was spring ceremony. And then, this was from Director Davis from Parks and Rec, just some different ideas on solar power signage that can be possibly installed. But the commission was gonna do some research. I guess Scott and Eric visited with you all about this. I'm just reading an email.
No, nobody
So,
provided us with any
but I guess the
information.
commission's gonna do some research on the actual sign of what your
The Parks Commission is, or
Arts Commission.
Yeah, well, what we talked
Okay.
about was finding out what, if Jerry had any preferences. And then I.
So who here's gonna talk to her?
Well, it's Judy Mann.
Judy,
Okay.
who I'm emailing.
Judy Mann, was going to talk to her. And then when we had some ideas, both Eric and Rick have some contacts with different artists who may be interested or able to submit some ideas and proposals. So they said that they could handle that part once we had an idea from Jerry about what she might like
Okay.
the signage to be.
And this is for permanent signage, not for the event signage.
Correct.
Yeah. The identifier.
Is there any kind of database of previous vendors for those kinds of signs?
Well, there are city vendors, vendors that the city has used. But we'd like to make it more artistic. Rick is with City Museum and there's so many creative people. And Eric, works with the City of Layton on their arts programs, so they have tremendous resources. And the hope is that we can, reach out and do more than just a corporate. Oh, it's another complicated there.
Well, I'm a big documentation and data freak, so if it's useful for anybody to assemble that kind of vendor information and consolidate it and kind of work on that for future stuff, including this one or not, I'm happy to assist there.
So it sounds like we just need to talk to Mayor Welch about
Style.
style, but also look at a spring date.
Yeah.
So we can get
Yeah.
that scheduled. So that'll be the two priorities there, and then that would funnel into vendors and once we know about style, so.
Next is Lifetime Achievement in the Awards Planning. There was a Lifetime Achievement Awards. We would like to, this commission has always chosen that person. But we'd like to move to the community recommending, nominating people. So that we really have a broader base of people,
Yes.
to choose from. So we put together a format, a submission form, that you put on the city website and go out to people. And last time Eric had said we could add anything to it that we wanted, and offered to take any of those, suggestions, consolidate those. Didn't hear anything, so I think everybody's fine with just a basic form.
Yes.
So I guess the question with that would be, when would we want to put that out? And, how would we publicize?
I would recommend that we finalize the 2024 honoree before we promote
Oh, yeah,
requesting.
well, I was thinking that would probably be in the spring anyway, so. So has anybody talked to the person that we just, of the family of the person that we recommended?
Jan.
What's that, Jan?
Okay.
So I.
It was supposed to be going to Councilwoman Beth, right? Is that
No,
is that her?
No, that was
Pam.
I thought it was Pam Bliss.
Pam Bliss.
Right?
Yeah, who had
And-
recommended it initially and might have a contact with.
And I'm trying to remember which council person's going to follow up with Pam.
Who is the honoree?
The honoree is it's posthumously a cartoonist with the Post Dispatch who passed away this year. And I'm forgetting his name.
I'll contact Pam and find out.
Okay.
And also I remember the name of the person.
Um. It's in the minutes from 2 months ago.
So we need to contact them before we can like confirm that they're, oh, yeah.
Yeah, we need the
Yeah.
family to commit, and so,
So the current process is the, how is somebody nominated? What's the current process?
Well, current process is more the people in the commission would come with names and we would discuss and vote. And there was a well thought out sense that we should make that more of a community thing. And so hence discussions about the form. And I think we now have the form. The form is, and the objective. Also the objective to move it beyond perhaps traditional arts even and into education, education in the arts and various other categories that could still qualify as someone worthy of being acknowledged for Webster Groves. Does that seem?
it was also never defined what qualifies you to be
Yeah, what
honored,
qualifies.
and so
Yeah, the
we made a
criteria.
statement.
Yeah.
That says that like, you don't have to be a resident of Webster Groves, but you have to make
That's right,
yeah,
presence.
an impact on, so the idea being that maybe we should honor some of our art teachers who've been teaching here for decades, and maybe we should honor, we've honored people who used to live in Webster Groves and now don't live in Webster Groves, so just sort of defining it a little bit more.
Just we can get abstracted then.
Yeah.
And also to get the community more.
Yeah,
Right now, it's very
Yeah.
insular.
Can I ask an admin question? Where is all of this kind of past information? Like old minutes and things like that stored?
It's on the website.
On the website.
Okay,
I can show you afterwards.
Okay, great.
I'll show you.
That's actually not so opaque,
okay, great.
stunningly.
And okay, great. I have a account. Maybe I can send.
Well,
Cool.
Anything else with this, with the lifetime achievement? I'll find out from Pam.
that's very slow. Go on the website to look at the minutes. It's like-
Should we learn community arts updates? Do we have any updates?
Next, next year, next season, 26, 27 is the Theater Guild's centennial.
Oh,
So, I'm hopeful that there will be an exciting season put together. So stay tuned on that.
Awesome. Well, when we talked about big events, top of the year is going to have its 50th season, this next year as well, so that's a big deal. We're doing a lot for that. City update, election of officers, chair, vice chair, secretary. It's coming up in June.
The one thing that Eric passed on to me for that is that obviously this team would select the chair, vice chair, and secretary. I appreciate Christina helping us out. That part of the intentionality is to have a secretary here.
okay, commission member.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I haven't heard how Janice doing. Our chair had some pretty major surgery in September,
Out of state, yeah.
yeah. So hopefully she's okay. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
So.
With a team of 11 or 12, I believe, I mean, there's some good depth there to be able to fill 3 roles and then through Christian or through just people decide that whenever your term is up, then someone else.
Yeah, it would be good, useful to look at, maybe if we could get some kind of list of whose terms are coming, so that we have a sense of how stable the the upcoming membership is.
A little bit of
as-
overlap.
Yeah, as we think about that,
I could dig into
There's
that.
a
that would be really helpful.
Engelhardt. Tom Engelhardt.
Right.
Our next meeting is December 3rd. Is there anything else that we need to
I mean,
talk about?
we do, like, even though sometimes we've canceled the December meeting, I think we need to.
It's pretty early.
It's
I mean,
early.
It's early
Yeah,
in
It's
the month.
early enough, but it's not in the holidays, I
Yeah.
think. Plus, we haven't had a super well-attended meeting in a while.
Mhm.
And I think it'd be a good idea to try to make next meeting to give a little incentive, extra,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
mean,
suggestion to people that we have a lot of business to do. We should work to get.
right. Especially since with our old business, both of these things we really need to get moving on.
Yeah, and a lot of it is people bringing information back and without people here. And if they have
Or
information,
communicating
if they
things
can't be here, then if we can identify someone to whom their information should go in lieu of presence.
Yeah, it seems like with the plan leaving, action plan leaving, that reaching out to Mayor Welch, having that, coming back with getting her input and feedback for a spring date and what maybe she's thinking about would be great to meet in December. I think too, with 2 new members, it'd be good to get in a rhythm just to as part of the commission to.
Yeah. I would also ask if we could get agendas before the meeting.
Yes, this was ready a few days last week, but I can email it out.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like a
that'd
day
be
or two
helpful.
before would be really helpful, because sometimes that helps people who are like, oh, I have this other commitment that I may have to do, but maybe I have to, you know.
I would
It reminds them that, oh yeah, I needed to do this work the last
I would
month.
probably send it at least a week out because like most people are extremely busy. So
That would be
1 or 2
That
days.
would be
before.
brilliant.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have it out and done.
I would rather receive it a week ahead and
Yeah.
that way it's like, oh, oops, you know,
That's a little more my style. So,
good.
most of my job I can't plan for. So when I can plan
Yeah.
for stuff, I do
It's comforting when we can.
it.
I'll stay in touch with Judy regarding this.
I'm here. Hello?
Oh,
yeah.
Hey,
Hey, Judy.
Hey, Judy.
Okay. I apologize with voting. I just got behind. I did talk to Jerry, and there had been an artist that the commission had considered working for us a number of times before, Andy Andrusko. And she had gave me his contact information. So I said I would bring it to the board. The idea of an archway sign, she said, would not work. They had originally planned some signage like that for the parking garage. I think there actually was some implemented. I didn't remember, maybe others do. And it was constantly getting hit by cars, and it was just a disaster. So that she didn't think would work. But if we want to go to who's a metalsmith, and you know, the commission at the time, the members of the commission were really very keen on his work. Beth, I don't know if you on yet at that point, but so anyway, I have his information, and if the board gives, the commission gives the go ahead, I could be in touch with him, or you know, the chair, however we want to do it.
Sounds
Just-
like a great idea to get
Just
just
the-
in touch.
Yeah, does the artist, I'm sure the artist has a website that we could maybe,
Probably so. I honestly haven't done that, but.
And then also the only other question is, I don't know if there's a formal, I remember hearing that there wasn't like a difficult RFP process or anything, but we don't have to go out for competitive bids or anything like that within the city's process. And
if there's a budget for this.
yeah, right. So that's information that we don't know.
Judy, do you know spelling of his last name? I just tried to Google it. And it didn't-
I pronounced it, it's Andrasko, Andrasko.
D-R-A-N-D-R, I'm sorry.
ASKO.
Ross.
Andrasko.
I can, I'll find out what a budget, what a number is, and then I can know the team, and that way you have that.
Well, and also whose budget is it out of? Is it Parks or is it?
Yeah,
Parks? I
that's
was thinking.
combination.
Yeah, I'll get the budget details.
Thank you.
And Judy, did Jerry say anything about timing or her availability?
No, and honestly, I was focused on the idea and the artist. I did not ask her, but I'm certainly willing to go back and ask her that as well. I mean, I think in our initial, we spoke twice. I think in the initial one, I said we were aiming to do something more spring, summer, I think, and she thought that was a good idea, but it was pretty general.
This is a sculptor, blacksmith, and all-around metal fabricator.
And so reaching out for a proposal from him,
Yeah.
unless the city requires that we also go to other
Yeah,
competitive bids.
I'll use a bulletin format and email back with some of these answers, so that we come to our next meeting. I wish you can take action.
Thank you, Judy.
And then Judy, did you also, were you the one who was gonna reach out to Pam Bliss about Engelhart?
About the lifetime achievement.
No. Yeah, who was it who is in contact with Pam, right?
I'll
I don't
contact-
remember.
I'll contact her this next time. Okay.
I mean, if no one else remembers, I'm happy. I mean, I don't know her, but I'm happy to reach out to her.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll contact her right after this meeting.
Okay.
Okay, any other business? So next month, Brady will come with information we'd have to share with Andy to get it.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is the next probably 7 to 10 days, I'll identify budget for signage, where it would come from, RFP or not. And I'll put that in one email, just a bullet point response email to the team. And then for next month, I guess technically our old business would still be the feedback for a possible date, as well as conversation.
Well, that's also gonna depend on the artist's ability to get this on their schedule. We don't know how long it takes for them to fabricate sign, so there's, personally, I don't know that setting a date is as important as finding out what the timeline for fabrication is
Yeah,
and installation.
so it would still be probably good to give Mayor Welch and say, well, what if we were gonna pick a time to do this, what's optimal for you? And then that can be communicated to the artist. And if it doesn't work, then we'll shift gears to a different date, but at least I can get that on the calendar. And then it sounds like the Lifetime Achievement of the Arts is still gonna be old business next month,
Right.
Yes.
with a follow-up with that. And then it sounds like the banner conversation is to be probably new, old business, but new business as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that falls. You know, it's been a long
Intermediate
time.
business.
Yeah.
Okay.
In progress.
It-
business.
it-
Going.
Just as I create the agenda, I
Yeah.
want to stick it in the right place, but okay. And then I'll get some clarity on terms so the commission can decide, nominate chair, vice chair, and secretary.
Question about the banners and Michael Silverman. Judy, before we got on, we were discussing Michael Silverman. I don't know if you were on that email thread, if he offered to essentially foot the bill for new City of the Arts banners, since our program didn't work. To get the arts organizations to kind of help with that process. I don't know who remembers like where we ordered them from before, like just to get a general idea of pricing if that discussion comes up with Michael. But do you have any? I know that I'm just trying to think of people who have been on when we first did those banners with John and.
Right, wouldn't John probably know, or?
John would know. I mean, yeah, we could reach out to John. I just didn't know if you had a recollection of like the company we used or anything like that.
No.
You might have
That
been-
would also be in the city records. Would it not?
Don't.
Right, could you find out what that budget was from back then, when those were done?
Assuming that.
Or at
it'd be
least-
Bigger now.
Well,
Yeah.
or even now, when we were looking at replacing the banners, I'm assuming that the city knew what the cost of those banners would be to replace them, so.
I think that there was some information from John, the liaison before Eric.
Add it to the list.
Anything else? We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second. Third.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.
All
So
right.
hopefully we can
Thank
get
you for
some
being
things
on.
done in
Thank you.
December.
Yeah,